Are you feeling stuck in your journey through perimenopause or menopause? You're not alone. Maybe you're thinking, I just don't have time to focus on myself right now. Or you've convinced yourself that it's just normal aging, nothing I can do about it. And worst of all, maybe you've tried everything and nothing seems to work. Well, in this video, we're tackling these 3 common obstacles head on. I'm here to show you how to find simple, effective strategies that fit into your busy life, help you thrive through this stage, and finally get the results you've been looking for. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Nicole Smith. I have a doctorate of nursing practice, board certifications in family practice and in orthopedics, and I'm sitting for the board exam for menopause certification as well at the end of this month. So I am the founder of Antigravity Wellness, which is my telehealth practice here in Washington State, where I focus on perimenopause and menopausal care using a functional medicine, nutrition, fitness approach. Today, we're going to talk about obstacles. We have the top 3 that I encounter with my clients and then talking with the public and women who are in that age bracket, over 35 years of age and going through these changes. So objection number 1, I don't have time. Many women are overwhelmed already coming into this stage of their life. But we need to remember that doesn't excuse the fact that they are still in perimenopause. They'll go to a provider and the provider says, well, yeah, you're stressed and you're depressed because you have a family, you've got a career, you've got all these things going on. We probably have aging parents that you might be taking care of. You're in this difficult time in your life where you are responsible for things on both ends and yourself. And then we throw perimenopause in. We can have hot flashes, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, low libido, changes in the menstrual cycle, weight gain around the belly, increase in cholesterol levels and triglycerides that you never had before, increase in blood pressure that you never had before, dizziness, headaches, migraines. It's so many symptoms. And it can easily be passed off as, well, you're just stressed or you're just depressed. And we're just going to give you an antidepressant because I only have 10 minutes with you as a primary care doctor. Does that sound familiar to anybody? It happened to me too. And I'm a provider. I had the same kind of experience, which is why I sought out other care. I sought out a naturopathic doctor who took a deeper look. We found that there were some things going on, subclinical levels, not diagnostic Western medicine sick ranges, but functional medicine, non-optimized and symptomatic that was happening with me. We were able to reverse these things, and it took time. It took a good 3 months for some things and 6 months or longer for other things. And part of that was my ability to comply with protocol and to stick with it. I was talking to my husband about this topic of I don't have time because this is men and women alike. We have families, we have responsibilities, we have jobs. How do you make time? Well, it has to be a priority. And you have to realize that if you do not fill your cup up to give from the overflow, you are then scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to give to everybody else until there will literally be nothing left and your body will break. It will break. Instead of going down that road, take a step back and say, where am I depleting myself to the point of pure exhaustion? I notice when I am not taking care of myself, I will get really short. I will snap things that normally wouldn't bother me. Knowing yourself and knowing how you respond to stress, and then you can pick up on those things. When I see myself snapping at people, especially those closest to me, or things that no reason to get upset. When I notice that happening, I take a step back and go, oh, okay, I'm stressed and I haven't been acknowledging that and I haven't been taking care of myself. I need to get back to the gym. I need to get back to making sure I'm eating the foods that make me feel good, not just in the moment, but well after I'm done eating them. You know what I'm talking about, right? Eat those foods that maybe in the moment are comforting, but long term cause bloating, discomfort, distension, not fun. Getting enough sleep and taking care of your inner thoughts, what you're telling yourself. We can't control our thoughts, but we can control the thoughts that we decide to focus on. So decide which thoughts you're going to focus on and make it a habit. It's going to take time. Our mental patterns and routines are deeply ingrained. We don't even know that they're there. It's the fish in the water who passes the other fish and says, "How's the water?" And the other fish goes, "What water?" You don't even know that this is your normal status. So, taking a step back and seeing where you can improve yourself so that you can be a better version of yourself for everyone else around you, it's a game changer. And it takes practice, and you will fall off and have to come back. That is life. So, let that go. That perfectionistic thing, you think you have to always be on point, always be superwoman. You're not. And that is okay. That's what we love about you, that you are human. That is one thing that my husband was really talking about. He had a great thing that he said. He said, the patriarchy BS is dead and everyone needs to pitch in. He's really good about this. And I'm thankful that I have him, as he will jump in. He's been taking care of meal prep. He's been taking care of yard work. He's been taking care of the garden while I am working on my business and trying to grow this thing that is my passion. Everyone needs to catch in. And he and I both grew up in households where that happened. Think back to your childhood. Did you get taught these things? And if you didn't, well, here's your opportunity to teach your kids these things. A little bit of self-sufficiency, a little bit of, I'll pitch in here. We're a team. A team mentality. Everyone has a role to play. And honestly, I think kids like it. I did when I was growing up. My parents taught us early how to cook our own food, even if it was just microwaving or just simple stovetop things. They made it easy for us to participate in the household and what needed to happen. It shouldn't land all on one person or two people, but everyone in the household should have their role. And that takes the stress off of it when you're not the sole thing that has to be there to make everything happen, right? Asking for help, pulling together as a team, making a plan. If you plan ahead for at least the week ahead, even if everything falls apart, you at least have something to go back to. Doing things like meal prep is really beneficial because it will set you up for success. It's one less thing for you to worry about. When you are already exhausted from a long day, if something did blow up in your day, and then you got to come home and make food for everybody, who wants to do that? Who won't order something in or just throw something together and mail it in and end up not with a healthy meal? It's very common, right? If we're prepared, though, it's easy to pull it out of the fridge, heat it up, maybe do a little bit of prep, but then it's done. So we don't rise to the level of our aspirations. We fall to the level of our habits and our routines. Make the things that you want to be the bare minimum your habits and routine, and you'll find it a lot easier to stick to it. So objection number 2, it's just normal aging. This is a great quote, though. Aging may be inevitable, but suffering is optional. I've worked in the hospital setting now for over a decade. And one thing that always stuck out to me, I'd walk into a patient's room and they would say, don't ever get old. And it was just sad to me because I could see past 25, 35 years of their lives that had contributed to their status now. And if they had taken different actions and made different daily routines, they'd be in a different position. They may not be laying in that hospital bed for the last years of their life. It is something that we have control over. To say that it's inevitable to end up debilitated, overweight, sad, depressed, heart disease ridden, with all of these other issues, these health issues, and on multiple medications, to say that's inevitable, it's just not true. It's just not true. Your lifestyle has the ability to heal the body. It wants to heal. It wants to be healthy, but we have to give it the right environment, the right inputs for it to be able to do that. And those right environments and inputs are your diet, your exercise, your daily movement, your mindset routines and your stress management, your sleep, who you surround yourself with, your community. These things build the network around you, your faith, your belief in a higher power. These things build around you this nurturing environment that will create this momentum in the right direction, as opposed to all of the opposite of that. It's not inevitable, and nor should we take it as such. A lot of women, again, go to a primary care. They say, I'm suffering from all of these symptoms of perimenopause. I've got hot flashes. I've got insomnia. I feel crazy sometimes, and I'm hearing things, and then my skin is itching, and I got itchy ears all of a sudden, like weird symptoms. And they'll run all the normal tests, and oh, everything's fine. You're not sick. You're just getting old. No, that is completely unacceptable. And do not accept that. If you want to live healthier, if you want to be vital well into your older age and live a life of quality, not just quantity, because Western medicine, we got quantity down. We can make you live longer. Is it quality life? Not from what I've seen, not in the hospital setting. If you want to live a life of quality well into your older age, the combination therein, you got to take care of yourself right now and push for people who will help you with that. Don't stop with one person who says, well, this is just normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. It might be common, but it's not normal. Objection number 3. I've tried everything and nothing works. This is honestly one of my favorites because I hear it a lot when people come to me. I've tried everything. And I'm like, then you were in the right place. So just because one approach, many approaches that you've tried doesn't work, doesn't mean you're stuck. We just got to find out what works for you. There's a couple things we need to talk about here. Realistic expectations. Number 1, there's so many fad diets out there and many quick fixes, and you can try and oh, my friend had this amazing results with this one thing. Okay, well, they might have their own circumstances around that, and it worked great for them. But N of 1, which means research study, case study of one person, is we don't really use that to extrapolate to everybody else because everybody else is diverse. We need a bigger sample size, right? And if there are some similarities between you two, yeah, maybe some aspects of that could help, but you need to customize it to you, and you need to keep pushing until you find what works for you. Consistency is key. It is boring. I get it. Trust me. I get bored with my daily routine too. But I remind myself, this is what moves the needle forward. If I am trying to either maintain or make a change, it has to become routine. It has to be ingrained. And that is not always fun. There's ways to make it fun. Gratitude, having a good sense of humor. My husband's really good at that. He makes me laugh every day. But in order to get to where you want to be, you have to create the habits, the routines, the consistency, and be really honest with yourself. If in the past you tried something and it didn't work, how long did you really give it a shot? For most changes to occur, you need to stick with it for at least 6 months. To make it solid, we're talking a year. When's the last time you stuck with anything that long? Especially a habit change. It's really hard. It is really hard. So take a moment to really look at yourself and be honest. Was I being consistent long enough to really see whether it was working or not? Also know that when you're making a lifestyle change, let's say you're changing your diet and you're trying to lose some weight. And for those women who are partnered with a man, you might notice that he barely eats the same food that you do, but because you cleaned up things like dinner, he's all of a sudden losing weight. He's not doing anything else different, but now he's losing weight and your weight loss journey is not really there yet. Well, even perimenopause aside, we still have issues with this. But with perimenopause going on, it's going to be even more exacerbated. Men do have their own version. It's called andropause. It also happens around in their 40s to 50s. However, it's a lot more subtle, but it does occur. Women's menopause, it's much more exacerbated for us. The symptoms are much more noticeable. And one of those is more difficulty losing weight than our partners. Don't let that discourage you. If that is the case, just write it off. It's going to happen. And then remember that 85% is awesome. Okay. You do not need to be 100% meticulous on the dot every single day. No one can do that. Life is going to happen. But if 85% of the time you are on point and you bring yourself back when things do get out of control, or you do slip, you're still going to get amazing results. I've had clients who literally did, I mean, let's be real. I want to say 50%, but it was probably less than that. It's more like 25%. Did like 25% of what I prescribed for them as far as their diet, their exercise, their lifestyle, and all the things, the supplements, and they still were able to get results. It took them longer, for sure, but they still got the results and they were still thrilled because it was such a dramatic difference for them. And maybe that's the path they needed to go down. Maybe they needed to take longer because they needed to instill the habits and they needed to go at their own pace. Go at your own pace. TLDR, I don't have time. It's an excuse. You can find the time and you can make this a routine when you really want it. Know what you really want, know your why, and then create a routine that will support that. We do not rise to the level of our goals and aspirations. We fall to the level of our habits and routines. Set your habits and routines up so that they will inevitably lead to your success. It's just normal aging. No, just because it's common does not mean it's normal. Normal aging does happen. However, the disease, the sickness, the chronic illnesses, the amount of cancers, that's not normal. This is a disease of lifestyle. The cure is your lifestyle, which is great. You have control over that. And then I've tried everything and nothing works. Being honest with yourself about that and also realizing quick fixes and fad diets 99% of the time will not be your answer. It's old school. It's eating a whole food diet. It's eliminating foods that are inflammatory for you, not for your friend Karen, but for you. It's getting enough sleep. It's getting your exercise. It's getting your daily steps. It's managing your thoughts and your mindset and your stress and having a community around you and a higher calling that you're working for. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.